but Adani Group. So they simply, it was very informal talk. They simply indicated me that when the organization faced that situation, then they called all highest level of their employees, and they asked everyone, and they in fact put everyone to look for the solution for the current situation. And now you can see the present situation is far more better than what was there in 2 months back. So this is what is the creativity skill. And here what creativity skill is required from those organizations, and the organization expect from them to be creative. So you all must have understood the context of my today's session. So with this, I'll proceed, and I hope my PPT, my voice, my picture, everything is okay. Kindly confirm, because I'm not in a position to see myself on the screen apart from the PPT, right?
Yes, sir. Your voice is clear and the PPT is also there. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So we'll start from the concept and meaning of creativity. Quite often these days, when you approach for an interview, when you are approached, when you go for an interview in any organization, the company look for the person that those who have the creativity skill. So what is creativity? The word creativity is used quite often these days, particularly in corporate sector, where companies expect that their leaders are creative in their approach of functioning. This is what we have just discussed in the previous slide. So it is most advanced thought process. Creativity is the most advanced thought process. It involves production of uncommon and novel ideas that are highly relevant to the situation. That are highly relevant to the situation. It is something different from intelligence. It is not intelligence. The creativity skill is not intelligence. It is something different from intelligence. Concerned with a complex mix of motivational conditions, personality factors. One individual should have certain kind of personality if that person is having creativity skills. So the personality factors, environmental conditions. So if anyone wanted to acquire the creativity skills, then the environment condition is equally important, and even the product. Therefore, by looking these explanation, we can say creativity is a unique and precious quality of a person that enables him to be innovative and do things in different manner. So it is a precious quality. It is a precious quality that enables a person to be innovative, to do things in different manner. Secondly, creativity is an ability to give novel response and answers. Novel response. Each and every time novel response, not the same one. The third one, creativity is a kind of thinking which depends in the power of visualization. So visualization equally play important role when you want to acquire a creativity skills. Therefore, it is said that creativity is a phenomena where something new and valuable is formed. So this is what is the meaning and concept of creativity. We will also look for the definition, because each and every topic has been defined. Until or unless it is defined, we cannot investigate. So the definition of creativity has been given by many researchers, psychologists. So I have put in here three important definitions. We will look one by one. The creativity as the ability to produce work that is both novel. Novel means original, unexpected, and appropriate. Appropriate means useful. If it is not in use, if it cannot be used, then that is not a creativity. So Sternberg and Lubart has defined creativity in this. Similarly, Kaufman, another psychologist, defined creativity as novel and personally meaningful interpretation of experiences, actions, and events. Interpreter, meaningful interpretation of your experience, action that you are taking or you are going to take, and the events. This is how Kaufman have defined. Then the Bloom, Benjamin Bloom defined creativity is one of the tough tasks and higher order skill. In fact, highest order of skills. When a person starts to create, they will be in a driver's seat. This is also, in fact, Benjamin Bloom, in his taxonomy, in his classification of cognitive, it is the creativity skill is the highest one. So cognitive psychologists have assumed that creativity is just extraordinary result of ordinary process that involves imagination, purpose, originality, and evaluation. So as I said, visualization is equally important. So visualization or imagination, if you are able to visualize or imagine, then you will also be able to create. So creativity, if you are looking for creative skill, you must be able to visualize or imagine the things as and when you want. So this is how the definition of creativity was defined. Now we will also look for the type of skills, type of in fact creativity. So according to Gulford, I don't need to mention about all those. It is only for reference. According to Gulford, creativity involves divergent thinking. Here another concept, divergent thinking. Gulford was one of the person who invented this word divergent thinking. So divergent thinking, which means thinking in different direction, and convergent thinking means thinking in same direction. If you are thinking in same direction, then you are called intelligent person. But if you are thinking in a divergent style of thinking, then you may be called as a creative person. So Gulford further suggests that divergent thinking represents creativity and convergent thinking represents intelligence. So there is no harm. If you are uh, a convergent thinking, then there is also no problem. You are still an intelligent person. But to become a creative person, to acquire a creativity in your personal life, you must be a divergent thinker, according to Gulford. And we cannot, since we are talking all these things, thinking and all, we cannot ignore Freud. So what Freud said, creativity originates due to conflict within unconscious mind. And when we talk about Freud, we cannot ignore conscious or unconscious. His entire research was based on unconscious mind. So according to him, creativity originates due to conflict within conscious, unconscious mind. Freud believed that creativity is a tension reducing process. According to him, if you are intense, if you are feeling tension, then you must involve in creativity skill. So creativity is also of two parts. One is verbal creativity and second one is non-verbal creativity. So what is verbal creativity? It means expressing ideas, language like writing, poem, stories, novels, singing, etc. So if you can produce your ideas in form of writing poem, stories, novel, in a song, singing a song, then that is known as a verbal creativity. We have seen in the last example where I was narrating a story, there the top profiled person put their ideas only in form of verbal creativity. And here I would like to Just mention about one little small story. And this story you all must have heard somewhere. If not, then I'll help for you. And the story goes like that a person, a software engineer, was as usual going from home to office. One fine day, he selected the different path, not from the usual uh, path. He has selected different path, and on that different path, he found he has seen, in fact, a blind beggar was sitting on the street and begging for money. And since he was a blind, he has put in one placard in front of him, and that placard was reading like, I am a blind person, please help me with some money." The placard was saying like that. So that software engineer was seeing, and there was no contribution, no help from anyone to that beggar. So that gentleman thought of something. There must be some kind of thought in his mind. So what he has done, he has just deleted and erased all the content what was written earlier, and in place of that, he has just put in another sentence, and that sentence was looking like, he, today's day, I'll just read it out. Today's day is very beautiful, but I am not able to see this beautiful world. You all are fortunate enough to see the world, to see this beautiful world. That's it. He just replaced previous wording with these wordings. I'll again repeat it. Today's day is very beautiful, but I am not able to see this beautiful world. You all are fortunate enough to see the beautiful world. And he has just gone to his office. When he was returning back in the evening, he saw that there were so many contributions, though so many people have given so much money to that beggar. That beggar stopped him and he was like, "Yes, I can recognize you. You are the person who came in the morning and just deleted the previous wording and now put in something new. So I want you to tell me what is written on this placard." So he narrated, and he just gone back. The beggar said so much thanks to him. But what I am trying to say, that this verbal creativity, this is what is nothing but the verbal creativity. It's only the wording that he has put in place of the previous wordings. So this is how you can, or anyone can, put their words in place in such a way that it is a novel and useful. So it was novel for all of the person who was passing from here to there, and it was useful for them also because the message was written what was very touching. So everyone, you know, they got the stimulus to pay something to that beggar. So this is the example of verbal creativity. So now second is non-verbal creativity. It means expressing ideas and thought in form of painting, sculpture, dance, design, etc. We have seen so many paintings. Most of us do not pay our attention on the paintings. Why? Because we do not have that kind of mindset as to what is there in the painting. But there are people who buy that painting, which is costing more than crores. Why? Because they are finding something. So that is kind of non-verbal creativity. So creativity, to make creativity is a science. There is a theory also, and this is very famous theory. It is known as the investment and conflicts theory of creativity. This theory was given by Sternberg. We all know the famous psychologist. What this theory says: if any one of us today wanted to become creative, wanted to acquire creativity skill in our personality, this slide is very important for all of us. So pay your attention. What happened earlier, philosopher believed that the human minds are exceptionally blessed with the higher level of thinking abilities of creativity. But such activities require use of already stored information along with the information concurrently received from the environment. See, we all are having that ability to be creative, to create, uh, uh, to have the thinking of creativity. But why we are not able to do that? Why all of us are not able to do that? Because it requires to use the already stored information that is there in our brain. We are not able to know as to how to access all those important information which is there in the brain. We are not able to access that. And along with that, one need to concurrently use that information which is coming from the environment, which is coming 24 into 7. So the mixture of both the stored information and the information which is coming from the environment, that ability is required to become a creative person. This is what the philosophers believe. But what science is? Sternberg has given that theory, that is investment and conflicts theory of creativity, in year 2006, where he has compared a stock market. People are asking normally what is the investment, because it's like you are investing some in stock market. So it is similar. He has, compared the, if a person is investing in the stock market and getting out of something, if you are putting some money 1000 rupees and getting 10,000 in turn, so how do they that how I mean how a person able to convert that 1000 in 10,000? It is like, uh, the person who are creative normally, they are they are in fact listening to everyone. They collect the small ideas from everyone. As we are putting our 1000 rupees in stock market, that is small amount. Here also we invest while collecting the ideas of each and every person. And after collecting all those ideas, we form a big ideas, because ultimately ideas come from the environment only. You also have certain ideas about certain things. I also have. Similarly, many people must have certain ideas. So once we have that ability to accept those ideas, then only we can create a big idea. So that is why investment word is used here. So according to this theory, creativity require a combination of 6 important skill in a person to be creative one. So if you are holding six, what Sternberg says, that these 6 important skills is mandatory if you are looking for a creative person. What are those skills? Number one, intellectual skills, knowledge, thinking style, personality. Some specific kind of personality is required within a person to have a creative style of thinking. Then the motivation as to why you are doing that, such and such motivation is required. Then the, of course, environment support is required. So these are the important things that is required in a person to be a creative thinker. We will very briefly look one by one as to what all these things are. So intellectual skills are nothing but it is three type. I'm sorry. It is a three type of intellectual skills. Number one, it says synthetic skills. Synthetic skills is the ability to view the problem from different and new angle and avoid a conventional style of thinking. If you are having the idea of thinking on one same pattern, then you cannot have the intellectual skill. To have an intellectual skill, you have to avoid the conventional style of thinking. Then analytical skill. It is ability to pick and choose the worthwhile ideas. See, out of many options, you have to choose. You should have that ability to choose which one is worthwhile and which one is not. So you have to be analytic. Then the practical skill. Practical is nothing but the ability to judge the practicality of the idea going with. Let's suppose you have chosen one idea and that has no practicality. Then that idea has no use. So to have the intellectual skill, you need to have these three skills in your personality. The second one says knowledge. Knowledge is what? It is the ability to understand a problem. If you are looking for a solution of a particular problem, then you must have the deep insighted knowledge of that domain. So you have to work on that area also. Then the thinking style, competency and divergent thinking. As we have discussed in previous slide, that the person should have the divergent thinking pattern. Personality, it says certain and specific type of personality needed. So if I match with the big five factor of personality, then I think the openness to experience is the personality that a person need to have in their personality. So this is what the specific meaning of this personality. If you have that openness to experience, if the range of openness to experience is higher, then you can be a creative thinker. The fifth one is the motivation. So this is very important aspect. Why? Because motivation is not something inherited. Motivation is not inherited, because you have to look for the motivation from outside. What is that is motivating you? Why you are working on that problem? That motivation has to be there. And that continuous and sustainable motivation is required to have a creative thinking skills. Then the sixth one is environment. One could have all the above, but environmental support is missing, then it will be next to impossible. You are having all five skills: intellectual, knowledge, thinking, personality, and motivation also, and you are not supported well enough from the environment, then it is not possible. These skills are distinct in nature but are interrelated resources. It is not like that if you all six skills are mandatory in a person. If suppose intellectual skills are there but all fives are not there, or any two or three are not there, then it will not work. If suppose you have all five skills and then motivation is missing, then one fine day you will say, let's stop. What is the use? If you all have five and then that specific personality trait is missing, then you will probably not proceed. So all six are interrelated resources. A person should have all these six intelligence in their personality. So these are the uh, theory of creativity which Sternberg strongly suggested that one person should have. Now we will see the benefit of creativity. Why creativity? Since we are doing mental health webinar series, we cannot escape, and we should not even think of diverting from that core idea as to why should we not talk about psychological benefit. So there are some psychological benefits also. There are some psychological benefits of being creative. Why we should be creative. So there are some benefits. So those benefits I am just narrating. The studies concerning creativity might only be beginning, and there is a lot still to learn and discover about the brain. However, there have been quite a few discoveries concerning benefit even though. So I'll just very quickly. Creativity helps to stabilize emotions. Many therapies involve creative tasks such as art, dance, and music. These activities and creative activities can help those who suffer from mental disorder like depression, anxiety, dementia, and post-traumatic stress disorder. So these are some neurotic disorders where people, if someone is facing all such issues, then creativity is one area where they can invest their time and energy. Then the other psychological benefits is stress relief. There is one of the more apparent advantage of focusing on creativity or task. When participating in creative task, you bring more awareness to here and now. So again, it is mindful activity here. So if you are aware and you are here and now, then obviously we know how beneficial for a person who are suffering from stress on or anxiety. So this is the another benefit. The third one says creativity improve brain plasticity. There are various benefits of creativity, but I have only listed three because it is not possible to mention everything. So creativity improve brain plasticity. We all know now what is neuroplasticity. We can change our brain pattern. We can change our brain thinking, the belief, everything we can do through neuroplasticity. So creativity is the one tool by which we can work upon the neuroplasticity of our brain. So it says it is the ability of the brain to modify or change the activity in response to whatever stimuli and then reorganize the connections. For example, in the way we form a new habit. See, in habit formation activity, what we do similar thing. Being creative can help to stimulate the various connections in the brain. So these are the small psychological benefits of creativity. There are many others which is not possible to discuss here. You all are aware. Now what happens? Stages of creativity. This is also very important stage of creativity because creativity is not one night journey. It is not overnight journey. There are stages. If you are looking for creative skill, then or creativity in any problem solving, then these are the stages. So according to Graham Wallace, creative thinking follows four steps. According to him, there are four steps in creative thinking. The first says preparation stage. Preparation stage is nothing but the focus attention. Build knowledge base, collecting raw material of the problem, which means you are collecting the whole information from the environment. If you have a problem, then you will collect the information from the environment, each and every problem. So this is nothing but the collection of the raw material of the problem. So this is known as a preparation stage. Then they says, yeah, then it is incubation stage. What happened in this stage? Here, let go and observe. You collected all the information, you collected all the way outs of a problem, and you just absorb. Here, the person do not think about the problem consciously. Here, what happened? People do not pay their attention. It simply observe and they forget also. But the internal process continue to do its work. In incubation stage, what happened? You just paid your attention on the various solution of a problem and you then forget. But you one fine day, what happened? You suddenly realize something. That is illumination. That is insight. That is called aha moment. Here the person may find immediate solution. And I'm sure you all must have experienced because I am the person who can vouch for this. It is happen. It is happening with me. If I have certain issues to think or to develop certain things in my in my thinking. So what happened? I keep on thinking on certain things. Suddenly I forget. But one fine day when I'm sitting on meditation, when I'm sitting in meditation on traveling or somewhere, I suddenly find some solution. Not only one solution, there are many solutions I find. So I'm sure even you all uh, uh, must have experience, but I want you to pay your attention, be little aware. So if you are being aware, little more aware, then you will find that that illumination stage is there in you also. That is called aha moment. Yes, I got the solution of that problem. I can do this. I can do that. There are so many options that is coming in front of you. So this is illumination stage. The fourth one says verification. So what happened? You have got solution, 4 or 5 solution of one particular problem. You don't simply go with all 4 5 solutions. You verify, you analyze, you check which one is real. You judge the worth of that solution. So that is called verification. So these are the 4 important stages of creativity. This is how creative ideas come from a person. So the fourth stage is very important. It is very easy to understand. We all are experiencing in our lifestyle. I want you all to pay your attention, to be little aware in your lifestyle, and you see there are a lot of solutions coming to our problem. So these are the stages of creativity. Then uh, aspect of creativity. It is basically the building blocks of creativity. As you can see a building, the building has a bricks, the cement, the sand, water, so many things. Similarly, the creativity has the 4 aspects, 4 elements. It says a creative idea should have the fluency. So it is the ability to produce large number of ideas or to suggest many solutions to a problem. So the fluency means that only. I'll quote one example if time permits, but I'll just run through this slide only. So fluency, you are producing so many ideas of one problem. If suppose I am asking what is this, what is the use of this mobile phone, then you need to have the fluency as to what all uses could be of this mobile phone. Then the second says it says flexibility. It is the ability to produce variety of ideas or to suggest response of different variety. Then the originality. It is the ability to give unique, unpredictable, and uncommon novel response to an idea. So it is very important that idea should be original. Then the elaboration. It is the ability to give detailed explanation or further explanation of ideas presented. Okay, example I'll just go through with this in very, uh, the example I'll only show you something. In fact, I'll read it out. Let's assume the following, let's ask a question. Suppose a question is asked to you, what are the uses of a thorn? Or we all know thorn. हिंदी में इसे कांटा कहते हैं, कांटा, सुई. So let's resume the response. If uh, that if I'm asking what is the use of this thorn, someone will say for pinching, for making hedge in the garden. That pin is making hedge in the garden. Can be used in acupressure. Can be used as a pin. Can be used in decoration. Can be used as a toothpick. So these are the ideas coming from different person after seeing a thorn. So this is called fluency. So I hope you understand the what is the meaning of fluency. I was talking about fluency, na? So meaning of fluency, that if I am asking what is the use of a thorn, then there are various examples. Some people will say for pinching, for hedging in the garden, for acupuncture, for pin, for decoration, for purchase. So these are the uh, examples. Similarly, if I ask, uh, these are the category for pinching, making a hole, for making hedge in the garden, that is purpose is defense purpose. You are you are protecting your garden, so that is defense purpose. For acupressure, that is medical use. For a pin, it is a substitution. For decoration, so you are decorating something. So it is category is decoration. So it can be used as a toothpick also. So that is substitution. So these are the flexibility of a idea, right? So this is what I meant actually. I wanted to give you the example so that you understand. Now, since we everything need to be measured, until or unless it is not measured, we cannot manage. So measurement of creativity is also important. So there is a tool available that is very famous and known as Torrance test of creative thinking skills. And Torrance test is based on Guilford's structure of intelligence we have discussed in the previous slide, which has again based on divergent thinking. Sorry. TTCT earlier measured on the volume. These are the parameter where creativities are measured. If anyone wanted, if anyone of you wanted to check your creative skill, you can probably click these link and you can check your creativity, how creative you are. So this is how you can measure the creativity. Now, very important, creativity versus intelligence. Because people normally get confused. Even I also get confused. What is intelligence? What is creativity? But there is a difference. There is a very little difference that that is being discussed here in brief, but the subject is still relatively new, and the complete answer of this question is still pending. So there are many researchers working on these ideas. See what is creativity and what is intelligence. Following point differentiate creativity from intelligence. So there are three important points by which we can differentiate creativity, what is creativity and what is intelligence. So it says creativity involves divergent thinking, we have discussed, whereas intelligence involves convergent thinking. Every intelligent person may not be creative, but most creative person possess above average intelligence. Creative thinkers are usually right hemisphere dominant, and intelligent people are left hemisphere dominant. So these are the three important points by which we can differentiate what is creativity and what is intelligence. But from my understanding, if I have to explain what is creativity and what is intelligence, then I probably say, if you are able to visualize, if you are able to visualize and if also able to create that reality into your life, then probably you would be known as a creative person. If not, then you are intelligent. So I hope you all can figure out as what is creativity and what is intelligence. So creativity and intelligence go together at a certain extent and then they get separated. So both skills are there. Both skills is required to be intelligent, to be creative. But at one point, creativity is standalone, and I mean intelligence is standalone, and creativity goes up. So this is the takeaway. I will finish with this slide only. This is the takeaway. If you all wanted to know how to become a creative person, so many philosophers we have discussed earlier also, many philosophers including Aristotle says that creativity is a gift from God. can't believe that creativity is an innate capacity. These are the philosophical terms. But how many so many studies have shown that training can lead both children and adults to hone creativity skills. If a person, even children or adult, is being trained, then that person can become creative person or he can acquire a creative skill. Some of the tips are given here. That is aim of the output. If you are looking for to become a creativity, similar thing we have seen in the theory, the five six important points that need to have a person. Here, just to summarize, I am giving you that aim for output. You must have the goal as to what you are looking for. If you are looking for a problem, for a solution of a problem, then you must have that goal. Then willingness to go deep. If you are willing to go deep, then you can become a creative person. Open and playful. Openness is very important. Playfulness is also very important. You have to be open and playful in your environment. Capture your ideas. Every time you are getting ideas from environment also. You be aware, be little more aware and capture the ideas that you are getting. Adopt outside perspectives. Don't mind to be procrastinate. So many people are talking about how to avoid procrastination. But if you are looking for to become a creative person, or if you are looking to acquire a creative skill in your personality, you must procrastinate, right? So this is the important takeaway. Probably uh, you probably like to relate yourself as to how I can or we all can become a creative person. So these are the steps which you can take away from today's session. Thank you very much for listening me carefully and attentively.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunilji. It was a wonderful session. You beautifully mentioned what are the types, benefits, and how we can incorporate creativity in our life. Wonderfully mentioned. Yeah, Kasi Reddy
Yeah,
Lakshmi.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Kasi Reddy Lakshmi. Andrea.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to thank sir for this beautiful explanation. Sir, you took a lot of patience to explain every concept. Thank you so much, sir. It was really very, very nice, sir.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
the
ma'am.
clarity. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, if you're interested, you can share PPT, sir. We will circulate in group.
Ma'am, I have already shared to Salim sir.
Yeah,
Probably he
okay.
will circulate. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We will.
So we will wrap up, ma'am.
hello.
Yes, sir. Please.
It's a wonderful session, sir. Really good. The
Thank you so much.
subject is really very much connected to expressive art therapy, one of the areas where we talk more about creativity.
Yes, sir.
And today, as I have attended your session, it really enriched me. Wonderful. Can we use the word postpone or procrastination instead of that? We can wait a little, and as you have put, incubation is more needed.
Agreed, sir.
Because I think that procrastination or postponing looks little negative.
Hmm. Right, sir.
That may be a thing because when I go through that, it looks a little, but rather it is very good that as you suggest. But instead of that word, lot of incubation is needed.
Yeah, yeah.
Incubative period is more needed for being more creative. That's what I could say. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Good.
Actually, incubation is the stage where lot of ideas comes from within, in fact.
Yeah.
So incubation is very important stage. Sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Satyan sir.
Yes.
I think we can conclude today's session. With your permission, Sunilji. Anita
Yeah,
ma'am,
yeah,
please
sure,
go.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, Anita ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the to all the friends. Thank you, Mr. Chakravarti, on behalf of the Department of Psychology,